All right, with the Grateful Dead's 60th anniversary celebration over, Dead & Company performed 3 different nights, and I thought to make a quick video for you guys going over the pedal board that John Mayer brought with him for all 3 of these nights. Now, the general setup was extremely similar to Dead & Company's residency at the Sphere in 2025 as well for the pedal board setup, and then 2024 as well was, extremely, basically John's used more or less the same pedal board for both residencies at the Sphere and then now continuing on for these performances. But there was one new addition to the pedal board which we will talk about that I think is pretty cool. So you guys are going to see some shots of John's pedal board on your screen, and let's just dive right on into it. We're starting off with the Shins Music Perfect volume pedal and the Exotic XW1. That setup has stayed the exact same. John's just really been loving the Shins Music volume pedal. It seems like that's his real go-to for whenever he needs to use a volume pedal, especially with Dead & Company. That's been a pretty consistent one. And then the XW1 wah pedal has stayed on his pedal board since the early days of the 2019 World Tour, a clear wah pedal favorite of John's also. Then we have the TC Electronics Polytune 3, the Ibanez TS10, the Exotic Super Clean, and the JHS pedals box it later. That setup, again, the exact same that we've seen in the past. Moving on to our next pedal, this is the newest addition to John Mayer's Dead & Company pedal board. And I remember I was chatting with my friend Alejandro, who runs the John Mayer Gear Instagram page, and I had no idea what it was, and it became a challenge to go and actually try and sort it out. And he was able to actually figure out what this pedal was because it's got a very specific layout in terms of the knobs and the dual foot switches. It's really unique in its overall actual design in terms of the user experience, the layout of everything. And it is the Tempolo Devices Real Deluxe Tape Preamp and Vibrato, a Canadian company, which I think is really awesome as a Canadian. Cool to see just something that my country has made on John's pedal board. And this seems to be a really cool device as well. It can do obviously like the preamp sort of thing and then give you really anything from no modulation, it seems like, from what I've been able to tell, and then subtle modulation too. So that's a really awesome device. I just don't totally know the context as to what he'd be using it for, but definitely something for you guys to go and check out. And then the last pedal on that front row is one we've seen John experimenting with a couple of times throughout the years, but now it's really made its way onto his mainstay pedal board. For 2025, it wasn't on the Sphere pedal board in 2024, and it is the Origin Effects Deluxe 61 Amp Tremolo and Drive, a pedal that I'm personally really curious about and really want to try out. All of the demos sound absolutely insane with this thing. Sounds so brilliant, and it's not totally unusual for John to have multiple trem pedals even on a pedal board. Like in 2019 he had the J Rocket Mr. Motto, however you want to say it, and then the Strymon Flint as well. So seeing John with another pedal that can do some drive but also the amp trem thing as well is definitely not out of the ordinary. So another really cool pedal for you guys to all go and check out. Okay, moving on to the second row, we have a pedal that is placed sideways, and I've never been able to confirm exactly what this pedal is. The color scheme, depending on the lighting, makes it either look like a Phase 90 or a JHS Prestige Boost, and it's kind of hard to tell the actual size of it as well from the shots that we do have. Very hard to say. John has so many boost pedals on the board. I think it makes more sense for it to be a Phase 90, and kind of in the one kind of shot we have, the color looks a bit more orange to me than the brownish, almost gold of the Prestige, but the form factor and making it actually squish up there, it's very difficult to say, but it could be one of those two things. Let me know what you think it is in the comments down below. Then on the second row, orientated in the correct direction, we have the Boss OC3, another Exotic Super Clean, Electro-Harmonix Qtron Plus, the Way Huge Aquapus Mark II, and then the Klon Centaur, completing that entire second row. That's all looking to be exactly the same setup. Moving on to the very back row, we have the 29 pedals Una, the Source Audio Programmable EQ, the version 1, like the very first version that they make, the Exotic X Blender, we have the Boss CE2, the JHS Pedals Artificial Blonde, the Korg SDD 3000 pedal version. I've raved about this delay quite a lot on the channel. It's absolutely incredible. And one thing I noticed about this pedal actually that John has done is there's some yellow tape that they've ran across all 4 of the foot switches. I'm sure they've just really labeled it a bit clearer, maybe for John to be like up, down, and then, you know, preset whatever, like verse, chorus, or, you know, main and then solo delays. However they're doing it for the dual setup, the A and B presets per bank on the STD 3000, but it's just something I noticed having the pedal, looking at it, being like, hey, that's what they've done, just to make it a little bit easier for John to see. But very happy this pedal has stuck on the pedal board so far. And then lastly, we have the Strymon Flint and the Moog EP3 expression pedal that is on the very far left side of the pedal board. We've had shots where you can tell that it is hooked up into that expression port of the Flint. So that's what the Moog is being used for in combination with the Strymon Flint to complete the pedal board that John had used for the 60th anniversary shows of Dead and Company. Pretty great shows. The tones were really, really good that John was getting from this show. He sounded absolutely incredible. And of course we have that new Silver Sky finish, which I've made one video kind of talking about the initial shots we had of it, and I'm probably going to follow that up as well with more videos talking about it, because we've got some different angles, a lot more footage has surfaced finally, and I'm just really in love with this brand new color that we've gotten from John. So I'm not sure if that video is going to come out before this one or after this one, but there'll be that video on the channel for you guys to watch if you hadn't already as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you on the next video.
Anyway, go ahead and click the subscribe button if you like what you see.